Hello everyone, this is 05 and welcome to Cobra Central Toy Review. And today we're looking at the 2011 release by Hasbro of the G.I. Joe Pursuit of Cobra action figure review. And today's action figure review is the final figure for the Wave 6 line, and we'll be looking at the Arctic Thread Snake Eyes, the Ninja Commando, also known as the Temple Guardian Snake Eyes. Now, I got this straight from KG Trains, who's from Texas, and he bought a whole set of Wave 6 figures and shipped it all the way to Malaysia to me as gifts. So thank you so very much for this awesome gifts, KG Trains. Now, the retail pricing for this figure is 39 ringgit and 90 cents. That's the typical pricing for this range of size of a figure. However, Hasbro Malaysia did not bring in any of the Wave 6 figures to Malaysia at all, so that's really disappointing actually. Now, let's take a look at the front portion of the packaging itself. One corner here we have a nicer artwork of Snake Eyes, but you will notice the chest armor that he's wearing is painted with the red linings of the, well, Articulation Ninja Clan logo. However, on the figure itself, you don't see a spot of red paint job on the armor itself. So it's kind of disappointing that you can see this obvious flaw the moment, well, you pick it up, and not even bothering opening up the packaging, you already see the flaw there. Now, inside the plastic bubble, we have Snake Eyes, the figure that wielding the two ninja swords there, the katana swords, and at the bottom corner here we have the two sword sheaths. At the bottom section here is the Kusari Kama, the sickle weapon. Here we have a cloth neck piece, two of the what's according to the back packaging that listed out as ninja axes. There's actually a, well, a name for this, but I can't remember what it's called. We have three masks, or well, one headgear and two masks. We have the samurai headgear, we have the temple spirit mask, and we have the sword fighting mask, which is similar to the fencing mask itself. And we also have an alternate head, as you can see there. Now, behind the figure is the smaller base stand, and behind the base stand is a all folded up catalog that showcases Wave 1 and Wave 2 figures, which makes no sense at all because this is already Wave 6. Because Hasbro do not want to redo the catalogs again, and that will cost money, so they might as well make full use of the catalogs, and at least they can salvage back, well, the money. Not that we actually collect the catalogs, because by this time you have dozens of them already if you collect starting from Wave 1 to Wave 6. At the back portion of the packaging itself, on one corner here is a smaller write-up stating what's G.I. Joe really about and who they're up against, which is Cobra. This time the mission is Arctic Thread, and we finally get another Arctic Thread. However, the bad news is we get another Snake Eyes. Here we have a very nice image of the diorama of the Arctic Thread. We have two of the Pursuit of Cobra Wolfhound. We have the driver white out there. We also have a Rise of Cobra, yes, a Rise of Cobra Arctic Snake Eyes. We have Snow Job. We have the Arctic Thread Destro. Two of the Rise of Cobra, yes, Rise of Cobra Snow Serpents. You can tell by the, well, color schemes of the camo paint for the uniform itself. And also next to the Snow Serpent is the Ice Cutter. Very nice. Now, at the bottom section here is the profile card. We got a nicer image of Snake Eyes. Here it reads, Snake Eyes Ninja Commando, name classified, grade E-5 specialist, hometown classified, primary weapon, hand-forged steel ninjato sword, but it's stated only sword, not swords with an S. Well, whatever. Combat gear. Now, that the moment you read this, it's kind of creepy, because if any military personnel have this profile card and read Snake Eyes profile card, it comes with the combat gear of an alternate head, a severe head. That's kind of creepy. Continuing on, he has sword fighting mask, temple spirit mask, samurai helmet, ninja axes, Kusari Kama sheaths. Now, the write-up at the bottom section stated Snake Eyes is proficient in 12 different unarmed fighting systems, including karate, kung fu, and jiu-jitsu. and is highly skilled in the use of edge weapons. He has received extensive training in mountaineering and underwater demolitions, jungle, desert, and Arctic survival, and some forms of holistic medicine. He was trained by the Articulation ninja clan, the same clan that trained his sworn enemy Storm Shadow, the Cobra ninja mercenary. He wears special ninja warrior armor to defend a training temple that has come under attack by Cobra ninjas. Very interesting. So, without further ado, let's open up this packaging so we can molest the figure. Be right back. And we're back after the figure and the rest of stuff out from packaging. Now let's take a look at Snake Eyes accessory, starting off with the base stand now. Now it comes with a nice little base stand that's based on the 25th anniversary style with a nice little G.I. Joe logo on the top with 2 pegs for the figure to stand on. Nameplate there stated as Snake Eyes. And at the back portion of the base stand itself, the bottom section there stated as at 2007 Hasbro made in China. Now, Snake Eyes here comes with a whole slew of accessories, and some of them are actually new stuff, which is very nice. We have here the Kusari Kama. Now, the entire thing is made of a black plastic material, as you can see that, and the blade that is painted a little bit of a very dull metallic paint job instead of silver, and the mold is totally new. Despite that, the details are not a lot. Very simple details, but the mold are new. The Kusari Kama on one section here, especially on the end section here, is tied with a string, and this string leads up to this rod here, as you can see. Now in real life, the Kusari Kama, usually wielded by the ninjas itself, they will use this weapon and throw this rod piece here as a short range projectile weapon, and then pull it back with using the string or chain. Very nice addition of a new accessory. Then we have a pair of Ninjato swords made of a black plastic material and quite flimsy as well. Now there is no paint job at all for the Ninjato swords, which kind of disappointing. I really wish they actually painted the blades into silver. Now the mold here is actually new stuff. It doesn't appear in any of the G.I. Joe lines itself, because it doesn't come with, well, unlike the swords that given to Snake Eyes or Storm Shadow for 25th anniversary line, Rise of Cobra, or even the previous waves from the Pursuit of Cobra, this 2 swords doesn't have the hand guard, as you can see that, or the smaller pieces of hand guard that attach near to the handle itself. So very nice addition. Then we have a pair of ninja axes. Now the mold here is nothing new. This is actually from the Rise of Cobra line or the Pursuit of Cobra line itself. The entire thing is made of a, well, silver plastic material color, and as you can see, the handles is actually painted in red. Very nice. Not much of details, very simple details, but still very nice addition of weapons. Now it comes with a pair of sword sheaths. Now the sword sheaths here is actually a new accessory, as you can see. However, the bad point about the sword sheaths here is that on the other side is all hollowed out. Similar kind of design that you find normally in, well, Rise of Cobra line or the previous Pursuit of Cobra line for Snake Eyes weapons or Storm Shadow. So on the other side, the sheaths are all hollowed out. However, as you can see, one of the sheaths here actually has a big old peg with a hole in the middle, and the other one actually has a tiny little peg here. You're supposed to, well, connect it like so, making a sort of like an X, or on the other way around like so, depending on how you want to, well, pose the figure. And then the peg here is plugged at the back portion of the figure. We'll put it there. Then we have his belt pouch. As you can see, this entire thing is made of a dark gray plastic material color, and there's no paint job at all. But the entire belt pouch here is rather flimsy in plastic, as you can see. So you have to be extra careful with this. Now there's a button here that will connect to the bulb here, and this actually goes to Snake Eye's waist area there. And the mold is nothing new. It's actually based on the 25th anniversary Resolute Storm Shadow comic pack with the Resolute Tunnel Rat accessory. Then we have his neck piece, which is a cloth piece here made of a black plastic material. This is actually from the Pursuit of Cobra Desert Battle Dusty. So this accessory is nothing new here, which is kind of pity though. Then we have his samurai helmet made entirely of a black plastic material, but the armor pieces and the straps here is actually painted in dark gray. The entire thing is rather very flimsy material, as you can see here, very flimsy. And the entire helmet mold is nothing new. It's actually based on the, well, again, the comic pack for the 25th anniversary line for the Resolute Storm Shadow and Resolute Tunnel Rat. This is Storm Shadow's accessory. Next, we have his temple mask. Now the temple mask here is actually made, as you can see here, a silver plastic material color. Now the mold here is also nothing new. This is actually, well, originally came from the, wow, the same comic pack from the 25th anniversary comic pack of the Resolute Storm Shadow and Resolute Tunnel Rat again. So nothing new with this accessory here. Then it comes to this fencing mask or sword fighting mask. This is a new accessory, which is very surprising indeed. Now the entire mask looks like a fencing mask, as you can see. The entire thing is made of a black plastic material, as you can see the inside in there. So the entire mask from the front is painted in silver, but there's a bit of paint chip on the side here, which is kind of disappointing. Now at the back portion here, where it's tied with two pieces of string like so, very nicely done. Now the mold is quite nicely done though, despite however simple it is, because first of all you have the fencing mask and then you have the temple mask. Both this mask is actually based on, well, it has similarities to the old 1990s release of the slice and dice mask. So to those who wanted to, well, let's say that Hasbro is not making any slice and dice figures, you can always, well, if you don't want this version of Snake Eyes figure, but do want a slice and dice figure, well, there you go, customizers heaven. You can actually have the figure where the two masks itself, either one of the masks to represent either one of the character, or buy two of them just to get slice and dice and then do a little bit of simple paint job, which is a very nice addition. Very nice. Finally, we have his alternate head here. Now the entire head here is a new head sculpt, a little bit modified from the Cobra Trooper, but a totally new head sculpt. Now, seeing that Snake Eye's facial, well, scars are quite obvious in the comics itself and even in the animation, this head doesn't bear any scars at all, which is kind of interesting. Flesh tone skin is painted because the entire thing is made of a black plastic material, so the flesh tone skin is painted, so does the blonde short hair as well. The bandana on the top is not painted at all, just pure black plastic material. The eyes is actually painted with a little bit of blue now. Very nicely done with the details of the entire head sculpt. Very nice. However, when you place the head, this version of head to the body itself, onto the neck joint, it doesn't click. You can still place it in and it still, well, sort of felt like that it will be secure, but it doesn't totally click on all the way, unlike the head that's attached to the body itself. Now, speaking of the body, let's take a look at Snake Eye's paint job. Majority of the parts, as you can see here, is made of a black plastic material and dark gray plastic material. There's also one accessory which I neglected to mention, but the problem is it's stuck onto the figure's body because there's no way for you to actually remove it, and that will be his chest armor. The chest armor is made of a dark gray plastic color, and the straps are painted in brown, dark brown, but the paint job onto the chest armor is absolutely gorgeous. Very nicely done, very intricate design of the chest armor itself. Very nice. You get to see a little bit of the Arishikage Ninja Clan logo, but without the red paint job, it's rather hard to tell unless you look it up close. Very nicely done. Too bad you cannot remove the body armor itself. And the body armor is actually nothing new there. It's actually from the same comic pack, the 25th anniversary comic pack of the Resolute, Storm Shadow and Tunnel Rat, and that armor belongs to Storm Shadow. Now let's continue on with the paint job. The flesh tone skins are actually painted, as you can see there, very nicely done. Majority of the parts are made of black plastic material, like the thighs, torso, the waist, the lower legs, the arms. The entire head is made of a black plastic material. The only parts that is made of a dark gray plastic material is the hands, which is painted in flesh tone skin at the bottom section there, with a little bit of dark brown for the straps. Kneecap is made of a dark gray plastic material, and that's about it. If you don't count the shoulder pads is a separate piece of armor which made of a softer type of plastic material, as you can see there, made of a dark gray plastic material as well. Now the straps are all painted in dark brown, as you can see, and the lower legs here, despite that it's made of a black plastic material, as you can see the straps are painted in dark brown, but the shin armor here is actually nicely done with the paint job there, as you can see. Very nice. The bottom section of the sandals are painted in dark brown. Very nice. However, due to the lacking of detail paint job, it covers a lot with the paint job for the armor itself. The shoulder pads and the arm guards are painted with the design of the symbols itself. Very nice. But what's more impressive is the chest armor. Chest armor is very well done. The entire head, there's no specific detail paint job. It's just entirely made of a black plastic material, so there's nothing to shout about that. Now let's take a look at the figure's mold. Nothing on this body is new. Nothing at all. The head for Snake Eyes, as you can see there, it's actually based on the 25th anniversary version of Snake Eyes. The entire body here is actually based on, if you hadn't guessed already, since I kept on mentioning about it, it would be the 25th anniversary comic pack of Storm Shadow, the Resolute Storm Shadow. As you can see, everything is basically the same thing with no changes at all, so it's rather disappointing. But what's nice about this figure is that it does come with some new accessories, some of them which can turn this figure into another character, which is very nice. So let's take a look at this figure's articulation. The head can pivot up and down, side to side a little bit, and turn 360 degrees. Torso can bend backwards, forward a little bit, side to side a little bit, and turn 360 degrees with no hindrance at all. Shoulders here, you have to be extra careful because of the soft plastic material of the shoulder pads here, so it can still lift the arms this high, but not any higher unless you really want to tear this piece apart, and turn 360 degrees. Elbow joint here can bend this far, back a little bit, and turn 360 degrees. Wrist joint turn 360 degrees. Hip joints here can move forward, but this one is a bit loose, so does the other one as well. Back a little bit to the sides, double jointed knee that actually bend this far, an ankle joint that pivots downwards, upwards, and turn 360 degrees. Very nice. Now let's equip Storm Shadow, this Snake Eyes figure. I'm sorry, I kept saying Storm Shadow, I end up saying his name. Let's equip Snake Eyes here with some of the accessories by turning him into, wow, dice. Or is it slice? Let's turn him into slice then. First we have him equipped with the neck piece. Still equipping the normal Snake Eyes head, plus the fencing mask. As you can see, totally making the figure a totally different figure. But the problem with this mask is that because once you put the neck piece, it doesn't stay onto the head itself for the fencing mask. As you can see, so it's a bit loose. Let's place the belt pouch like so. Wrap it around on his body. Doesn't seem to connect well. There you go. Much better. Have him equipped with the sheaths, which also a bit hindered with the fencing mask thanks to this piece here. Doesn't seem to go in. Ah, there you go. Much better. Have him placed with all the swords. And perhaps let him equip with the Kusari Kama weapon. And there you have it. We have a totally different character without resorting to have another Snake Eyes figure. Now the figure is of course nothing new there. It's the same old figure as always for this version and for the rest of the other versions of the figures for the Pursuit of Cobra. But I really like the new accessories for this Temple Guardian Snake Eyes, especially on the fencing mask, the Kusari Kama weapon, the new sheath, very nicely done, and also let's not forget a new head sculpt, very nice. Despite that, the head sculpt is very nice. I really don't like putting this new head sculpt onto the body itself because it doesn't seem to suit him very well. It doesn't look like Snake Eyes. He doesn't have the scars just like, well, for Snake Eyes in the comics or the animation itself. This is as much accessories I can cram onto the figure itself and leaving the rest of the stuff unattended, which is kind of disappointing. The figure reuses the same mold as the Resolute Storm Shadow for the comic pack version, which is kind of disappointing, and also one reused accessory from the Pursuit Cobra Dusty as well, and some of the stuff from the same Resolute Storm Shadow here. But the figure with the different parts of accessories, especially trying to make it as a different figure, is actually, well, at least it looks a bit more better compared to the original figure itself. So if I'm gonna give a rating out of this, I say it's still not bad, so I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Yes, 6 out of 10 for the Temple Guardian Snake Eyes, thanks to the accessories there, by totally making it not like Snake Eyes at all. So 6 out of 10 for the Temple Guardian Snake Eyes. I thank you all for watching. This is Lucy05 and I'm signing off.